Hey, what's up, guys? This is the Indie Kid coming at you. This is the Orange Blazer, and this week I'm going to recap our UT's wins over Mississippi State and Kansas. Before we get into that, though, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you tune in this week for the UT basketball post-game show with Falls, JP, and Dauber, and then be on the lookout for any other content, maybe any videos, maybe a live show along the way. Not sure on that right now, but just be on the lookout for that. And of course, check out your social media as well at Talkin VAWLS Podcast. You can see it on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter as well. But let's get right into it. Tennessee bounces back this week after a rough spell the week before. They bounced back. They avoided the upset Tuesday night against Mississippi State, and then last night, complete total dominance from Tennessee. That's the best performance they've had in probably close to a month now, and a lot of things to get into with that, but a good week, back on the right track, and kind of review both games here. So I'll go back to Mississippi State. So 56-53 wasn't a beautifully played game. But one thing that stood out in both of the wins this week opposed to the week before, and I've hit on it on here a lot, assists to turnovers. They were in the green this week, where the week before they were in the red on that. Now, granted, it wasn't by a large margin this week, but it was much better than it was the week before. But, I can't stress it enough, and I stated it, and people said, well, it doesn't make that big of a difference. Tennessee is undefeated when Jaden Springer has played a whole game. Alabama game, he got injured. He was out early. Didn't play against Florida. Didn't play against Missouri. His stats, they're not just out of this world. They're good. Don't get me wrong, but just something about him being out there. It's another score. He just makes the team better. Heck of a player. And so Tennessee has won all their games with him in the lineup. And again, their only 3 losses have come when he's either been out the whole game or majority of the game. It does make a difference having him in there. And I'll get in some stuff I read about here a minute ago, but they kind of went with a couple different lineups. It's been pretty consistent, but there was one change last night from the other night, and it seemed to have paid off. As well as Wednesday night, they went with Fulkerson, Pons, Vescovi, Keon Johnson, and Josiah-Jordan James. Nobody kind of out of this world in that game. Pons led with 13. Then you had Vescovi, Keon Johnson, both with 8 points. And then you got Jaden Springer with 9 points as well. This is on Tuesday night. Springer does a little bit, just like in this game, he had 9 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Just all around better right there. Now, his turnovers were up in this game. He had a block and no steals, but just his overall presence around the game there. You had Vescovi, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals. Good game for him right there. He shot the ball, 2 of 8 field goals, 2 of 7 from three-point range. And then free throw percentage was better this week as well. Against Mississippi State, 72.2%. Three-point percentage was not good, 15.8% right there. But you got to be able to gut those wins out sometimes. Mississippi State's 9-8, 4-5 in conference. So not an awful team by any means right there. They gutted that out. And then what I was reading here on GoVols 24/7 about a couple of the articles from last night's game, and one of them right here, the title of the article was How a Friday Night Meeting Sparked Tennessee in a Big Win Over Kansas. So basically, Josiah-Jordan James, he termed it as they had a come-to-Jesus meeting with everyone. Everybody doing their job. Rebounding has been a big thing here as well, because at Mississippi State, they got out-rebounded by a big margin, 42-30 right there. And last night was a different story, and this made a big difference, where Kansas had no second chance points, which was big. And then the rebounding margin last night, Tennessee 38, Kansas 23. And from what I read as well, this is the first time since January 16th against Vanderbilt, which has been just slightly over 2 weeks ago, that they've out-rebounded an opponent. And even that Vanderbilt game, it was only by 2 rebounds. But last night, assist to turnover was 15 to 13. That's still in the positive, though. Almost 1-1, but not quite. The big thing I saw Rick Barnes said he was upset about was Kansas's kind of breakaway points. They got 19 points off 13 turnovers. So he obviously wasn't happy there. But one thing last night, he changed out Springer in the starting lineup, James to the bench. Springer 13 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Again, doing a little bit of everything there. And then James had a good game last night. 9 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. So, that's what you want to see out of him right there. You had Pons led the way with 17. Fulkerson, 11 points, 6 rebounds. Vescovi, 7. Keon Johnson, 8. Victor Bailey, 11. That's more the balanced scoring that we saw from Tennessee earlier in the season. And then a huge difference in free throws last night. 16 out of 17, 94%, 52.8% field goals, and 61.5% three-pointers. So probably one of the more complete games Tennessee's played this year, as far as if you consider the way they played and their opponent. Granted, this is not your Kansas of years past, but they're still a ranked team. I don't think it's one of the better Kansas teams in years by any means. Probably, based on how strong Kansas is, this is probably one of their worst teams, but still yet it's Kansas. There's talent. It's a Bill Self-coached team, good coach. Great win last night. This is what it needed. Whatever they did Friday night in that team meeting, it worked because this team had not been playing well at all. So we'll see where they go moving forward. Big week this week because I can't stress enough. Any win when you're on a skid is big right there. And they eked out the win over Mississippi State. And let's see where they're going from here. Beat Kansas yesterday. So now at Mississippi, February 2nd at 7 p.m. And then at Kentucky next week. Always big. You're going to Rupp. You know what you're getting into when you go to Kentucky right there. No matter what Kentucky's record is, that is still a very difficult place to go in and win at right there. And it doesn't matter if Kentucky's ranked first or if they're ranked 100th. Obviously, that's not going to be the case, but a win in Rupp is a win in Rupp, and that would be huge if they can go in and get that win right there. And obviously Kentucky's not played great ball this year, but I still maintain Kentucky's going to have talent. It's going to be one of the more talented teams on paper that you're going to see this year. And so we'll see from there. It'd be nice to have another week of a couple wins, and then you get Florida again. Florida comes to Knoxville, and we'll see on that one. You better be ready for some redemption because Florida flat out embarrassed Tennessee. So we'll see. Redemption has to be on the mind there, but good week again, and I would expect you're probably going to see this starting lineup and moving forward, and they'll probably play the hot hand at times as well, but I still maintain I think Springer and Keon Johnson are two of, if not your best 2 players on the team. Obviously, you got to factor in Pons. I know Pons turned an ankle last night, but from what I read on here, Rick Barnes said that the trainer told him if needed, Pons could come back in the game. So it doesn't sound like that'll be serious, anything that'll keep him out any amount of time. And obviously, we hope that's not the case as well. But, good week. Back on the right track. Tennessee sitting 11-3, 5-3 in conference. And it's just a matter of playing for seeding at this point, finishing off the regular season strong and then getting ready for the conference tournament and then for the NCAA tournament as well. I still maintain this is a team that could set up for a decent tournament run. Is it more of the team we saw earlier in the year? Is it the team we saw, for the last couple of weeks coming up to last night? Is it the team we saw last night? I think the truth's somewhere in between on all that, and I really think it just depends on what team shows up. Is this, do they want to show up and be physical? Do they avoid the turnovers, things of that nature. But a lot of talent down here, and we'll see. And I still maintain to this point, at the end of this season, Keon Johnson, Springer, Pons, I maintain. I feel I will be really surprised if they come back. I'll be curious to see on Fulkerson. He is a fifth-year senior. Will he be ready to get on with his professional life, whether it's playing basketball professionally or something else? And then I think most of the rest of the guys will be back. Anasicki's already said he's coming back next year. I think he'll have more of a presence right there. You keep seeing Olivier Comha getting more minutes. So we'll see. And obviously you're getting Kennedy Chandler in, who's going to be a huge addition next year. Probably be the best point guard we've had down there in a while. True point guard, not a combo guy or anything, but an absolute huge addition coming in next year. But that's going to wrap it up for me for this week. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, hit like, hit subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll catch you guys next week. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you then.